What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC. Welcome to Evercast Replay. What's Evercast Replay? Well, since we're not doing live episodes this weekend, and for the next couple weekends, what I figured what we would do is dip back into the Evercast archives and pull a couple choice episodes. Some things that either were topical to right now, such as the cart rankings, or like one of our favorite episodes, maybe a cool interview episode, like that kind of thing. And then, give you guys a chance to relive and replay that. Something that, keeps in the feed and keeps the Evercast going for a little bit while we're away. And I wanted to do it in a unique way, though. The unique way is, of course, this is set to a live premiere, which means there's live chat going on right now. So what I want you guys to do is, as you're watching, feel free to be in the chat because I'll be right there with you. I'm going to be watching wherever I happen to be it last minute shopping or, out with friends and family or just, hanging out on the couch with the fam. I'll be there to chat with you guys as we rewatch some of these cool episodes. I also want to throw out a Evercast community prompt. And what is that Evercast community prompt? Well, it's basically kind of like a year in review thing, right? The prompt simply is, what is your Evercade moment of 2021? So it could be, what does Evercade mean to you in 2021? What was the coolest thing that happened while you were playing Evercade in 2021? Any cool story that happens to deal with this year and the Evercade. It could be getting your VS Founders, right? Any one of those things. Pop them in the chat as we're chatting along during this replay. And what I'll do is I'm going to call all of those and we're going to go over them in the next episode of Evercade, Evercast Replay, I should say. And, we'll revisit that next week and see what happens. Let's have some fun with this. All right? All right, cool, guys. So, enough of me talking. Let's go into our first selection of the Evercast Replay, which of course is last year's 1 through 10 cart ranking episodes with me and OEB Pete. So, well, back when he was called OEB Pete, right? So let's dig in and watch this episode and just have some fun. All right. Well, until we see you again, let me just say happy holidays, and we'll see you again next week for another episode of Evercast Replay. Let's check this out.
There we go. There we go.
What's going on?
Evercast number 16. This is, of course, the Evercade dedicated podcast. I am Pete. We got Retro Rich from Bacon Ice Cream Productions.
Rich,
how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Hanging in. It's another weekend.
How excited are you for this show?
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be totally cool. I've always kind of wanted to be in a podcast scenario where we're going to do a countdown list and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It is awesome.
It's like a treat for me. It's like reality treat. It's awesome.
I'm into lists. I just did one. I did one. And what we're referring to, this is a show in which we take the original 10 things, the collections, which are behind me, and we actually go through and pick our favorites. Rich picked his, put it in a spreadsheet. I picked mine based on his. So basically how this is going to work is we're going to use Rich's order, but of how he did it, and I'm going to put my ranking beside it. We got a whole video plan for it. It's pretty cool. We're similar yet very different in some of them.
Yes.
So we're going to do that, which is really cool. Like I said, I'm always into lists. I did a very clickbaity video that yesterday on the Evercade and why it's beating PlayStation 5 and Xbox in my house.
That's cool.
And holy moly, do people hate that video?
Oh, really? They don't like it?
I'm getting so much. I've had so many comments where people are taking shots at me. It's like, how could you say something ridiculous? I said, did you even watch the video? Like, I give 5 reasons why it's more for me than the other 2. And it's just funny. I love how the internet just gets enraged.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Oh man, something will set someone off, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, it's 5 reasons. It's out now on the channel. Go check it out. But what have you been up to, bud?
I mean, it's been a hugely busy work week for me. So not a lot of game time. Did get a little bit of like pre-game time. Got a little toy behind me. It's new.
I'm so jealous of that retro machine you got back there.
I've been messing around with it. It's pretty neat. It's got some really cool features in it. I'm very impressed so far. It's the At Games Legends Ultimate Cabinet, for those who are wondering what it is. But other than that, I got to dip into that just a little bit, and then it was work. And then it was like severe work. It wasn't even like, oh, we were just busy. It was like Tuesday night into Wednesday could have been catastrophic. Could have been Rich doing overnights at the site rebuilding a server. That it was pretty close. So
that's no fun.
No, and I was back in at the central office actually watching you guys do PM in the PM last night.
That was a fun show last night. PM.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool, and I was watching you guys while I was actually rebuilding yet another raid in a different server at a different location. So
I know you mentioned raid, and we were like, "What is he squishing bugs?" So we got a few people. The regulars are back. We got Retro Just Play in the chat. We got Michael Garvey trolling as usual.
Yep.
We've got Panda. We've got 2 Retro Rich Haywoods in here. Nice, Rich, driving up our viewership numbers.
Yeah, I forgot. I was messing around.
Are you subscribed on all your accounts?
I am.
To my MMO stuffed also?
Yes. Yeah.
Mike keeps trolling me. He says, Pete, stop playing MMOs. I'm having too much fun. But yeah, it's awesome. We got the show here. It's early now. This is the time frame we're settling in on. So we know we got lots of people over in Europe that like to watch the show. So hopefully they'll start realizing that it's on earlier, because the first 14 shows were middle of the night over there.
Yeah. Now
it's coming in a little bit early. What time is it in England right now? It's probably 8 hours.
9
o'clock at night.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
And
so 8 GMT.
Yeah. It's PM and the PM is not as good as this podcast.
They're
all good, Mike.
They're all good. It's awesome.
They're all good. So busy week for you. Have you got much playing in on your Evercade this week?
Just barely a little. And that was because I wanted to do a comparison. No spoilers, but I wanted to do a comparison on a game that is actually it's on here.
There's a few on there.
Just a few. Few. But there's a couple that are actually on these various collections that are on the cabinet behind me.
Oh, sweet.
So
I'd be interested in how they compare, because it's kind of apples oranges, right? One's a handheld system, smaller screen. One's a big hulking machine with looks like a really good monitor. I don't know what game is that in the background that's running through. But...
So it's actually it's just like a loop.
Yeah, it's just
going
a loop,
through, and then it's showing all
track screens,
things.
right?
Yeah, and it's got like all the of course, like the hot titles, right?
Yeah,
it's they leaned into the Disney
on there.
Yeah, there was Tempest on there. They leaned in heavy on the Disney licenses, so Aladdin, Lion King, Super Star Wars.
They got that license?
Yeah. Sweet. So it's pretty neat stuff. But we'll talk about that a little bit. Maybe I'll throw in the comparison when we get to higher up on the list.
Awesome.
But yes, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So I got ran in the trap. I was capturing some video for today's podcast.
Yeah.
And for the video, for the list, and I got stuck in that trap again where I started playing a game, and all of a sudden I'm on mission 6, and I'm like, oh, I should have stopped at 4 minutes. Why am I at 35 now?
Yeah.
I just kept playing it. Oh, I'm making progress now. I was in the zone playing one of the games, and I'm like, oh,
right.
Mission 6. but I've already finished that game countless times, but I'm still playing through it. And hey,
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
Kettle from the
Hey.
UK. Hey, Dave, how you doing? We were just talking about how the show starts early now, so we can accommodate more of our Evercade European folks, fans of the channel and stuff like that.
Yep. And
Which
Lance,
is
hey Lance, what's
awesome.
up?
Oh, Lance is here. Lance, brother.
What's going on?
Lance with the big L. I love his icon. It's just a big L.
Yes, that's it.
Awesome. So yeah, so the big thing we're doing was we got 2 shows left. This is this show, and then next week's our prediction show.
That's right.
Unless something happens after our prediction show in which Evercade makes a massive announcement, that'll be the last Evercast until the new year. Because Rich is having a baby.
That's right. We're getting so close now. It's frighteningly close. I mean, we're slapping rooms together, we're putting paint up on walls, we're doing all sorts of fun stuff. It's very exciting though. Very exciting.
I don't you know what, having 2 children, I'm good with 2. I have no I don't want any more.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after this one, but yeah, we're in it for the adventure here.
Awesome. So you guys, is chat ready for us to start our countdown?
Let's do it.
Basically, we're talking about out of the original 10 collections, which ones are our favorites, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but also you'll be seeing our favorite game on each of the collections also.
That's right.
So let's get going.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it up. Thanks, Panda, by the way.
And here we go. And this one we actually were in agreement with.
Yeah. Yep. In Interplay Collection 1 at rank 10. Yeah, just the way I did my ranking, I don't know if you did the same, Pete, but the way I did my ranking, it was all based on amount played or amount draw to play, not necessarily like do I like a game more than another or whatever. It's because all these games, the collections are put together because they're all great. Like all these games are pretty, like they're things that should be played. But it was just for me, what grabbed me, right? Why does this thing make me want to play games? And the way I did my ranking was it's because it grabbed me so much that I lost time to other things. So all of my rankings is almost purely based on time played. And then the favorite picks are probably, those are more personal. Those are like, I actually really, really, really enjoy this game and would play it regardless on any system.
Yeah, for me, I used the same similar thing, but I also said what games did I just like just as a gamer, as somebody that I enjoyed, which one I played the most of, and Interplay it's number 10. And this doesn't mean we don't like this collection at all.
Right.
It's just when I do think of this collection, the game I played the most of is 2 actually, is Boogerman, which I enjoyed the most, and I played a lot of Earthworm Jim, which I did not enjoy at all. For one aspect was the initial boss fight, but I really think like this collection's only got 6 titles on it also.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough for this one to kind of win my heart over. But I mean, I like Boogerman for sure. I mean, I think this is a solid game. Battle Chess is just not for me. That's all you, brother.
yeah. I mean, it's Battle Chess was my number 1 on this cart, and the reason why is because I had the nostalgia. Like when I saw it, when it first got announced, right before I saw the Earthworm Jim logo, which made me think, oh wow, that's actually something I really want to play because I didn't get a lot of experience back in the day. I saw that Battle Chess logo and I was like, this is it. I mean, this is it for me. And for sure on Collection 1 Interplay, it was the game I played most on the collection over, since receiving the Evercade.
Well, Boogerman, I still go back and play Boogerman. I'm having a blast. I know it's a gross, disgusting game, but it's a fun little game. It's a fun little. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is cool.
Yeah, it is. It is a neat game. Yeah, I like it.
I like this collection more though.
Right. Yeah, me too. Actually, I thought it was going to grab me a little bit more, but I mean, that being said, there's still fun stuff to be had on here. Absolutely.
I think it was the Earthworm Jim that might have. I thought I wanted to enjoy that game so much.
Me too.
And it is fun right up into that first boss fight.
Yeah.
But it's just I have zero desire to go back in and play that game.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I mean,
I have zero desire to go back and play this collection a whole lot, except for Boogerman. I'd like to try to finish Boogerman, actually.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go back and try to do that too.
And we're moving along.
And then actually gets better at battle chess.
So we just saw our number 9. And this is where we kind of were the same on these two collections. So this is Interplay Collection number 2. And we both ranked at 9 in our list.
That's right.
And you went with Earthworm Jim 2 as your favorite game here.
That's right. But it's because in my opinion, between the two, Earthworm Jim 2 is so much better. It's so much more forgiving. It has so much more draw. It is kind of the more refined version of the game that I really wanted to enjoy on Collection 1. And I played Collection 1, even off before we started doing like captures in the show and all that stuff. I played Collection 1 before I played Collection 2, specifically because I wanted to play Earthworm Jim, and got the same kind of like, not necessarily disappointment, but the same like kind of just wanting more out of Earthworm Jim as you did. And when I played Earthworm Jim 2, I'm like, oh wow, it feels a lot better, it plays a lot better. I can really get into this. So as I played more, I found out that was the one, that was the game in this cart that was drawing me to play more. So it got the tap for me.
For me, it was Prehistoric Man. I like such a great game.
It is another good one.
I really like it. It reminds me of Joe and Mac.
Yes.
And that's why I liked it so much. I thought it was for me, it was there was not a lot on this collection that really grabbed me. Like Earthworm Jim 2, I played a little bit of it, and it is a far superior game, I think. But I think I enjoy Prehistoric Man better.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I can respect that too, because of course your play style too, like you enjoy that kind of game well above probably anything else, to be honest. And it's awesome because it's a great game.
Got
like
good comedy in it.
Yep.
Sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Speaking of like the Interplay Collection, because like they were talked about as like one of the big selling pieces. Earthworm Jim was out front with the Evercade and all that. So like, I'd be surprised how many people like would like disagree with us passionately on our rankings of these two collections as 9, 10.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it as I was doing the rankings. I was like, wow, these are pretty low for me. Like I was wondering how P's gonna have his. I didn't see it till right before the show, and I was like, oh well, I guess we're kind of in there. Kind of in there. There's obviously going to be some disparity, but yeah, no, I'm actually interested, even in the chat too. Throw in your thoughts about your collections too. Like, we way off on the on the collection things. And it is. I mean, I don't think Blaze is gonna, they're not in the business of releasing, like all the big sales numbers and that kind of thing. It would be kind of interesting though to see if
how many of this copies sold, right?
Yeah, because you're right. They were really out front with the Interplay collections when this thing came out.
Interplay and Namco were their two big ones, right?
That's right.
Because Earthworm Jim has got a lot of cachet with the retro crowd, right?
That's absolutely correct. But it'd be interesting to see for sure how it all shook out, sales wise. Because to be honest, there were carts on this, they came out in these collections that shocked me how high they wound up on their list, on my list. And it's interesting. And
here's where we get different.
That's right.
And we start going different. We're talking about the Technos collection. And Retro Rich ranked it 8th on his list.
That's it.
I've got it ranked as 4th.
Yeah, I mean, there was no surprise to me. That's no surprise. Absolutely no surprise. So
for me, this is a 4th because of nostalgia and because of one game series. This is the Double Dragon game series.
Yep.
I've played this probably second most of all collections, maybe third most of all my collections.
Okay.
you know, for me, it's like it doesn't have a massive amount of games on it, but the games that it does have on it, like Double Dragon, Super Double Dragon, and Double Dragon 2 is on it. It's like so many classic beat 'em up games.
Oh yeah, I mean River City Ransom's on here too.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I chose Super Double Dragon as my favorite game on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you chose Double Dragon, which I was this close to choosing both.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty hard on this collection to choose a favorite, but I went with just sheer nostalgia. And also, which one did I play most on the collection as soon as I got it? And of course I jumped into Double Dragon.
Well, I finished Double Dragon right away whenever I got it, and then I finished Super Double Dragon, and oh my gosh. And I was surprised that was 8th on your list, but then I thought about it. I'm like, he doesn't seem to be the biggest beat 'em up fan in the world.
I mean, beat 'em ups are cool, and I mean, trust me, like they're surprising me in different ways. These beat 'em up games are coming back in a resurgence in my nostalgia that I didn't think that there was going to be. But to have a cart where the primary focus is all beat 'em ups, for me, it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of want a little more of a mix. I want to be playing like some more stuff. And it was also during like, this is the fire hose, right? You know, at launch, it's the fire hose. You get these 10 carts. They're coming at you fast and furious, and there's only so much time in my day to play.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that, right? We got overwhelmed by 100 games at launch.
Right. So, I mean, for me, it was, I got in there, I played my Double Dragon, I played a little Super Double Dragon, I played a little Super Spike V-Ball, and then I was kind of out of the collection. I played it, some of the others in the collection just to kind of get acquainted, but I didn't really put some serious time in. I put the most time, obviously, in Double Dragon, which is the reason why it's my pick. But yeah, it wasn't like the one that was going to draw me to like keep putting it in.
I haven't played that one yet, Panda. I really want to get that.
Scott Pilgrim? Oh, that was a great game. Yeah, I played that back in the PS3 era. That was
But this one here is just a strong game. I'd really like to see what they do at a Technos collection too.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love to see what would be on that, because it's hard to beat this one. I mean, I wasn't surprised it was high on my list. I mean, but this is where the list kind of breaks up a bit.
Yes.
And where we have different, you could tell that we like different things in different games and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I like the fact that they put a whole lot of Double Dragon here, and it's almost could have been called Technos Double Dragon Collection if they really wanted to.
Yes, that actually could be. That would be an accurate title.
Yeah, they could probably just remove a couple of the games and just put just say this is a 4 collection piece or something like that, and it would have sold. I would still bought it.
Yeah, me too. And it was interesting to see River City Ransom on this cart too.
Yeah,
like because if they were going to make another, or planning on making another cart, that would certainly be a headline title. I mean, I'll take it in the first collection for sure, all day long. But that would have been a title I would definitely seen headline a second collection.
So you prefer Double Dragon 1 over Super Double Dragon?
I mean,
Double Dragon's different. It's a little bit different game.
It is, and I do actually prefer Double Dragon over Super Double Dragon. But the reason it's because that was the one that when I first got into beat 'em ups after I finally got an NES, like this is late in my adolescence. I just played the wheels off of it, just destroyed like everything in the game. And when I got to play some of the other beat 'em ups, Super Double Dragon kind of like got lost in the shuffle because there was all the other carts that I was getting. Because kind of like the Evercade launch, when I got to that point where I started getting other consoles, I took the fire hose of, I literally was buying consoles by the week, or every other week I'd buy a new console at the Uncle Land, and then go back in and then buy 50 carts, because they were all like $1 or $2, 25 cents a piece back then. It was crazy. So I just took it all in. And then, some of them just got lost. Now, when I'm going back and playing the Technos collection, I'll go back and I'll check it out. But for me, you just can't go like you see Double Dragon in the list against anything else, I just have to go Double Dragon.
Yeah.
I just have to do it.
And the trend continues where we're a little different again.
Yep.
Data East, I've got this as my number 3 collection.
Yep.
I really, really like the combination of games on here. You got it as your number 7.
Yep.
What I really liked about this collection, obviously Bad Dudes is the game I kind of gravitate towards. Surprise, surprise, beat 'em up game. But I love Burger Time on it, Midnight Resistance. There's a whole lot of great games here that I really liked. And why this one kind of bumped ahead of the Double Dragon, the Technos collection, is because of different variety in the games that I enjoyed. Having Midnight Resistance on this game, even though I like Bad Dudes better and I played it a lot more, Midnight Resistance is a fun game too. It's like easy mode Contra, right?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what? For me, this is where it started to get a little hard. Slot 7, 6, 5 got real difficult to actually order. And I just purely made the decision of like, which card did I play more? Did I play this one more? Oh yes. Did I have that hook where I wanted to play this game more than this other game? Yes. Okay, it's on a different collection, it's got to move up, down, whatever. But there's so much nostalgia on this cart, for me, like, and Burn and Rubber has to be on it because
Bump and Jump, man.
I played Bump and Jump back in the day. I
played it on NES to death, man. Like,
and for me, it was Atari 2600.
Yeah,
it was. I had the Atari 2600 cart, and that was it. It just plays hours and hours and hours and more hours. And more hours in that game. Is
so like I played more when I was younger, Burn and Rubber and Bump and Jump, than I did Bad Dudes. Bad Dudes I like because I only just recently played it in the last 20 years. So that to me is amazing. Like that's why I like Bad Dudes. Like I got really back into beat 'em ups.
Right.
But this is a great collection of variety. And I mean Burger Time is on it, right?
Right. Yeah, Burger Time is awesome. I mean, and it's
good on most collections, like in most versions of it. It's a pretty decent game.
It's an absolute classic,
Generational gamer will say that we're crazy and it's only one version's any good, but like he's in love with Burger Time a little bit too much.
He really, really likes that game.
He really, really likes himself some Burger Time.
But I mean, that's great, right? That's what makes gaming, and especially classic gaming, that's what makes it great. Because there's so many different choices, there's so many different games that people could just fall in love with. It's awesome. And for these games to be like, this accessible again, just getting these carts, and these carts are so inexpensive. It's so awesome, because you just don't think, you're like, oh, there's another collection, just get it. You just grab them. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, this, like I said, it was hard, but it was just simply because I just didn't put as much time as some of the other carts.
I got a feeling
that it ran up where it is.
These will rank differently if we do it a year from now.
I think so.
Or
absolutely
3 years from now, after having 20, 30 collections out, we go back and say, oh my, because, we're comparing against 9 other carts, right? That's how I looked at it. I didn't even factor in, Atari Lynx or any of the new collections that come out, Oliver Twins. Like I didn't factor that into ranking these or my likes or dislikes for this collection. I just said, okay, based on what I had at lunch, which ones.
Exactly. And that'd be awesome to revisit this. I totally want to do that. For sure.
We will, man. It's like, I think we next year we just add on to this ranking, right? And slot in the new collections. I think that's how we should go about it. We got the Google Sheet. It lives there now.
That's right.
I like this collection. I really did. It was so hard for me to pick my top 5, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was very easy to pick my bottom 5. That I had no problem at all.
Yeah. I mean, well, and for me, and it might be just because I've got like the googly eyes for certain things.
Yeah.
My top 3 were almost automatic. My top 3
mine was pretty close. Like mine was really cool. My number 1 was automatic. And if anybody's ever come to an Evercast, well, like I've hinted at my number 1 forever, but whatever.
So it's all good.
But I love this collection. Like I like all the collections. Some more than other.
Right. Well, I mean, but that's why we're doing this, right? That's why we're having the discussion. You know, but obviously
nobody in chat's let go of their number one. Now let's talk about Mega Cat. Number 6 in your list, number 2 on mine.
yes,
This was a big heavy hitter for me. This one almost hit number 1 for me.
Oh, really?
This is one strong collection, dude. Oh, and I had to choose one. You know how hard it was for me to choose one? I almost asked you if I could choose 4 free, or 3 number ones. Like I wanted Coffee Crisis. I wanted Justice Duel.
Yep.
Oh, I've got the videos reversed here.
Yeah, because you took Coffee Crisis.
Yeah,
and I took
sorry. So Coffee Crisis is mine. Justice Duel is Rich's.
Yep.
But Coffee Crisis, unbelievable. I almost put Old Tower in there. I was struggling. Struggling. You can tell because I made a mistake in where I placed the video.
Yeah.
Because I was in my mind, it's like, oh no, maybe I put Justice Duel in or something like that. But
right.
This is my number 2 because I like almost every game on this collection, with the exception maybe of one.
And this is another one of those carts that, again, it's so hard to like figure out and place in ranking. But then again, I just went back with the old and tried and true, like, how much time did I put in? Like, did I put in more than this? Okay, fine. And then trying to pick out a favorite on this cart was a little rough, but I went with the tried and true nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, you're getting like Android robot joust.
Dude, it's amazing.
It's like, come on, it's so fun.
Logjammers is the only game I don't really care for on this collection.
Yeah, and it's
Justice Duel's fun. It's joust with the ex-president and historical figures.
Yes. It's so good. It's so good. And I mean, the rest of the games on the list, like, you know, it could be like, okay, for me, it's definitely Justice Duel number 1 because it's just the nostalgia factor. And then literally almost every single one, and I agree with you, except for Logjammers, is 2.
Yeah.
That's it.
Coffee Crisis, dude, is like, I got you, I think, more into Coffee Crisis after I started explaining to you like why I liked it so much and the mini games. Coffee Crisis, if you haven't played it, it's the mini games between levels are fantastic. It's just a weird, awesome game. It's like you're a barista. I mean, I love coffee too.
Yeah,
but Mega Cat, I bet you when you saw my list, I think you kind of said, "Oh yeah, I can see why that's 2 for Pete or 3 for Pete."
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because it definitely seemed.
I got your top 3 right away, except for one. You surprised me big time on number 1.
I know. It's gonna be a shocker.
Something else on number 1.
Yes. But oh man, I gotta tell you, like when we get there, it's gonna be awesome. But yes, it definitely feels like this. You know, your list is definitely very Pete. You know, it's very, very, very Pete. And it's just like, which cards had the most awesome beat 'em ups ever? These are in the list. With possibly one exception, but we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's but the game is so good. Yeah, Coffee Crisis is so good, and
dude, you're beating up an old lady with a stroller who just beats the crap out of you. I mean, come on, like you feel bad for hitting her, and then she decks you and knocks you down. It's like
you're like whacking her with a bag of coffee beans or something. It's so weird. It's so weird, but so good. It's so weird.
It's like one of those games, and then you're riding Joust. Like you're riding these birds as Abe Lincoln,
right? Yeah, and it's like why is this happening? Like it's just like
what is going on here?
Yeah, and it's like it's so crazy. It's so crazy, but it's so good to get into. Like, and they're kind of different games too, because you know, Coffee Crisis is that game where it's just you want to just keep going and keep playing, and Justice Duel's that fast hit. You know, you can blow through like 3 levels in 5 minutes. It's too cool. It's too
cool. All right, now we're getting in some range differences. This is Namco Museum Collection 2. I've got it number 8.
Mm-hmm.
You went 5.
Yep. And it's literally all of that ranking is because of Dig Dug 2.
Yeah.
And it just because I just put so much time in that game, like post capture, after show, before show. It was one of the first games that I played when I played Collection 2, and it just gets you. And I'm all about like old classic arcade games, obviously, but I hadn't really put in a lot of time playing Dig Dug 2 outside of the Evercade, and it just got me. I was just like, all right, I gotta play more of this, and I gotta get all the puzzly elements.
And you see what I chose.
Oh, of course. I mean, like,
and the reason it should be higher, because I talk about Felios so much, everybody would think, well, this collection needs to be higher. But this is the one game that I played pretty much dominantly. I dabbled in a few others, Dig Dug 2, Galaga, but it was basically just a Felios collection for me. And as a collection, rating it as a collection, it's weak for me as a player because I've really only played one game on it. And it's a darn great game. And maybe I'm contradicting myself. Sometimes I say it's worth the collection itself, and it is. Right. It's just that it doesn't have everything else the other collections that are higher have in my rankings.
Right. Yeah, and for me, I played the wheels off of Dig Dug 2 on this cartridge, but it was games like Felios, and it was games, like the rest of everything that's on this collection that kind of just sucked me in to play a little more of each title. So it was
well,
cool.
This collection's got heavy hitters. Like, we're not even mentioning the Splatterhouse games 2 and 3, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Splatterhouse 3 was another game that I put epic amounts of time in.
Yeah.
And certainly gets like an honorable mention nod there for that. But I just played so much of the. I just played so much.
Well, yeah, it's like when I ranked it, it's good in your list. You got number 5. It's right in the middle. I was shocked that it ended up in number 8 in my list because of Splatterhouse 2 and 3 and Felios. Like, there's decent games. Even Warpman. I think next year, after I spend more time with this collection, this might go up in my ranking because I'm going to get into Warpman now that I know how to play it more.
Right.
But I was surprised it slipped to 8, but that's the nature of it, right? There was just other collections I enjoyed more on it.
Right. Yeah, and that is interesting to see there, because like your energy on all of the times you talked about Felios in all of your videos, I was like, to see it at 8, I'm like, that was a little surprising for sure, but I kind of get it. I kind of get your call now. But
other games, just other collections of multiple games that I went back and forth on, like we talked about the Technos collection, right?
Yep.
And the Mega Cat collection. Both collections that I spent a whole lot of time in a lot of different games.
Yep.
Here I played a bit of Splatterhouse, 2, 3, a whole lot of Felios, but not a whole lot of anything else. Like, it was,
Yeah, that's true.
But I can see this collection being number 1 on a lot of people's list just because of Splatterhouse.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and this was one of the first ones that was the chase cart. After launch, people had a hard time getting ahead.
They're still having trouble getting this one, right? There's still people still like are trying to find this cart.
Yeah, in the U.S. particularly, it's pretty hard to find. And then
when now in the U.S., you guys can order from Video Games Plus.
That's right. And
all right,
it's kind of hard because with Amazon and the Namco carts in general, they tend to be more expensive here in the U.S. Both of them. So
now we're on Namco Collection 1. So I ranked them right beside each other. Though this one came in higher for a few things. I really, really enjoyed Battle Cars. I really enjoyed Mappy Kids. I absolutely played so much of Xevious yet again. I played that every time I get that. I played so much of that vertical shoot 'em up. And then I actually played a lot of Galaxian. I played a lot of the games quite a bit. But Battle Cars just draws as one of my favorite games there because when we talked about it when we did the collection review, I was telling you things about the game much later on because I'd enjoyed it so much. But tell me about why it slotted so high on your list.
So it's another one of those game collections that was surprising. Not necessarily surprising because in Namco Collection 1 you've got like some serious classics. You got Dig Dug, Pac-Man,
Dig Dug, Splatterhouses.
I mean, you've got Xevious on here. That was the draw, right? Because you think, oh, cool, let me play all the cool arcade games that I've played for forever as growing up as a kid. And then you get a game like Mappy Kids, and it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, this is just a little bit of a quirky side-scrolling game, and it's just fun. And it's got
such a good reason. He's trying to raise money for his family, like
right, yeah. I mean, the story's cool, like all that, because it's just fun. It's just really cool.
That's what pushed it from better than Collection 2 for me was Mappy Kids. I was shocked with that game because I'd never played it before, and that's a big thing too. If I've never played the game before and I enjoy it, it'll rank higher in my books, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Well, and I really like the fact that the collection has so much variety too. So you've got like the side scrolling thing with Mappy Kids. You've got battle cars, you've got those classic arcade shooters, and you've got, you know, Pac-Man, which is arguably the greatest maze game of all time. Like,
even though most people say Miss Pac-Man's better.
Yeah, that's true.
But nobody ever talks about Miss Pac-Man like they say. They just always say Pac-Man.
Right. Well, because Pac-Man, you know, like there's like the score chases and like the community and like all that kind of stuff. There's a big scene about that particular game.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean, why it ranks so high for me is because there's all that stuff in there. So if you're going on that trip, you're going to do something or whatever, and you can only bring a handful of carts, you know, this is in my slot. You know, this is, you know, if I've got room for 4, which is the reason why it's ranked 4, but if I got room for 4, this is coming with me. Because there is such a variety of games. And they're all, I mean, I think there isn't.
Oh, hey, Mars Reloaded. How you doing, bud?
Oh, hey, how's it going? There isn't really like a bad game on this cart.
No, it's a pretty strong cart, yeah.
So it's neat, you know, and that's like I said, that's why it ranks so high for me. But Mappy Kids just came out of nowhere and just kind of like just surprised me. It's like, why did I play this game so long? You know, there's all these other games that I could be playing. I mean, we're at I think 200 released if you can include the new cartridges so far. And you know, I played this one more than some of the others on the past collections we just ranked. And it's wild that happened. I didn't think that I was going to play a game like this that long.
Everybody, like they always say, you think you know your favorite games until you actually sit back and think about it. And now we get into some of your favorite stuff.
Oh, and this is, you know, and
Atari Collection. I knew this was going to be in your top 3.
Yes.
I got it ranked at 6th. You've got it as your top 3. So we're in the top 3 ranking games right now. You've already seen a few of my top 3, but this is Rich's first top 3, and of course, I had to put Aquaventure in there.
And it was real close. I gotta admit, it was super close.
Really, you're an asteroid nut, though.
This might have been the double up. I might have selected Aquaventure here just because it was the new one, and I did put a lot of time in here, but you put an Atari Collection in front of me with asteroids in that list, and it has to.
I knew you were gonna. I thought Atari Collection was going to be at least one of them. I think one of them was going to be your number 1.
And again, you might have been correct, but it just something just came out of nowhere and just went, no, you are now playing this game forever.
Yeah, and this Food Fight almost was my favorite game here.
Yeah, that was another. It was definitely an honorable mention.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's super good, and I mean, and this collection is just like rock solid. There's so many cool games.
Oh, dude, the Atari collections both. The reason they're not high on my list, again, other collections, I hadn't played as many of the games, and I've enjoyed them more, and they're more new to me, and so they went higher because everything on Atari, maybe two of these games I didn't play before. Aquaventure is one of them.
Yep.
So I grew up playing all these games. So they're going to, you'd think I'd have all that nostalgia for them, but not necessarily, right? If this was the Activision collection, if there's ever an Activision collection, that'll always be my number 1 forever.
Yes. Yeah. No, I could agree with that.
Hey, Deadlock Gaming.
Deadlock.
My OEB club member. How are you doing?
Ireland.
We got 2 club members, 3 club members. We got Bacon Ice Cream Productions club member. Michael Garvey's a club member.
Yep, that's it. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, we got club members here. It's good to see Deadlock. I haven't seen him and he's never been able to come to the show, and you're here.
That's awesome. So good to see you.
He's live. That's awesome, because I always get a tweet from him or a post saying, "Oh, I can catch it and rewind." Awesome. I'm glad to have you here, Deadlock.
That's very cool. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what could be said about asteroids for me that hasn't already been said or will be said, because I'm just not going to stop doing videos about asteroids.
Yeah.
But another reason
why
why
Asteroid needs a new version of it to come out soon.
I mean, that would be cool. I would be down for some new asteroids for sure.
So we have
Yeah.
2 collections left. Which one is my number one, and which one is
my number
Rich's
one?
number one?
It's
Coming up. You'll see it. You'll know the answer right after the next one that comes up. Which one's our number one?
But I want to say the reason why these Atari collections, because obviously we're at 3. There's another Atari collection. It's got to be 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
The reason why they rank so high, right here. That's why they rank so high.
The D-pad. You can actually, they're playable now.
Is so good. It's so good for all the stuff for Atari and all those classic games. It's just the best. It's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, because the Atari joystick is crap. I'm sorry. The joysticks back before the NES were not great joysticks. They just weren't.
But that's why when I play on my Retron, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I use this one. I use my 7800 joystick over the 2600 joystick because this just feels better for me.
Or you can use the Genesis stick too.
You can use the Genesis stick. I just can't because it's what I grew up with, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Like it just I gotta have that 7800 stick in my hand.
I don't know how I was good at games back in the day on my Atari, but I had the best Atari 2600 stick because I didn't have a 2600. I had my Gemini.
Got it,
and my Gemini has a proper joystick with 2 side buttons.
Oh, nice!
And it's got the wheel. It's got the wheel built into the controller.
Oh, that's cool.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I don't think I've ever seen one. That's awesome.
I gotta find it. It's here somewhere. Keep talking.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll fill in. But yeah, I mean, it's just so. That was the thing that surprised me, and actually,
like, away somewhere. But it's in my cupboard usually.
It solidified my love for the system. Is these Atari collections just nailed it? It's like
I think it did for Mini, and it was the pack-in, right? The standard pack-in in North America was the Atari collection, right?
Absolutely.
And then they switched it up for Europe. I think they put the Namco collection or a different collection in Europe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would have. You can't recommend the Atari collections enough. If you didn't get it when you got your Evercade, go and pick these things up because it's so good. There's so many other different ways to play these things because they make the little things that you can get.
What's the select button again? What's the shortcut? Is it the bumper button?
To
select the different versions of the game.
Yeah, and that might be the one and only change that I would make in the regular control scheme is to give the user the power to slot it to another one of the buttons down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that,
we'll talk about a prediction show next week.
Yeah, it's solid.
So number 2 and number 5 on my list. We both chose the exact same game. This is the only time in the list that Em and I chose the exact same game as our favorite game from Atari Collection 2.
Yep.
Now, I never knew this existed, and everybody knows I love Dark Chambers on the 7800. Well, I love it on the 2600 now, too.
It's so good. It's so good. And I was I cannot believe I had the only system I ever played from year can hold the controller 3, 4, 5 years old all the way through till I was 13, 14 when I finally got a Master System. It was different, finally a different console in my house. Yeah. I played every single Atari game I could get my hands on. I never.
This was a very late release. This came out during the 7800 run.
Yeah,
they ported it down to the 2600.
And I mean, I didn't know that Dark Chambers existed at all. Even the 7800 version, because I would have had that. I would have.
Oh, the 7800 version. I did a video on it. I live streamed it. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite experiences ever. Just trying to hit floors. I think the furthest I've made it is 18 floors.
Okay, cool.
I think there's 26, but no one can tell me that for sure.
Got it.
In the 7800 version, it could be endless. But I made it to 18 floors before I bit the bullet. And I was getting tired of controller. I've got the European controller for my 7800, eh?
Okay. Yeah.
It looks like an NES with a stick that screws in it.
That's right. Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that controller before.
$20 on eBay for that, and apparently I got a good deal.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the European pack-in. But yes, Dark Chambers. This whole collection is really good. Again, it doesn't rank. The only reason it's ranking 5 and not probably 7 or 8 is because Dark Chambers. Again, I've played all these games a million times as a kid, but Dark Chambers and Basketball on there and Desert Falcon version of 7800 really held it for me. But number 5, I think, is a decent slot for this one.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And as far as me, the reason why it's number 2 is because this is the second most played game on my Evercade to date.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if there is an end to the 2600 version. I don't
think there is.
I think it just.
I don't think anybody knows that. I love how when he goes diagonally, he's faster.
yes, it's so weird. But I think I hit well north of 30 floors.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I've got a save state that I'm like on level like double F or double G or something.
Hey
like
Pete, how you doing? Peter Cousins here.
Crazy. Hey, what's up?
Namco 2.
Namco 2, yeah. Oh, and Deadlock confirmed it's Namco 1 is the
Namco was one in Europe, and in North America was the Atari collection. Because I've got the standard collection with the Atari. That's the one I think that's the one I'm giving away when I hit 2,000 subs.
Nice. That's good stuff. It's good stuff, and like you can't you can't fault it. You got to get, if you don't have the Atari collections, go and grab them. Like I just can't recommend them enough.
I was going to ask a question, but I'll wait it for next week because prediction show. But I might as well ask it. You think there's going to be a big sale on collections? Because there was one during Black Friday. They were 20% off most stores for all the collections.
I mean, there could be for
Video
sure.
Games Plus at $20 off for the Evercade.
Nice.
So it was $80 Canadian.
And that's a great deal
for the 3-pack for the premium. It was crazy.
Nice. That's a really good deal for the 3-pack.
Yeah,
that's awesome because it's still was it? It's $99 US here
for the premium. Still. And here we go.
There it is.
Number 1 collection.
Yep.
Pico collection.
No
surprise at all.
It's just it's still in there. It's still in there.
It's the only reason I took it out is because I had to capture video for Technos today.
Yep.
But I love this collection. I said from day one it's one of my favorite collections. That's why I got like all giddy when I heard about Pico Collection 2 coming out.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's sports heavy, which I don't mind, but Brave Battle Saga. I'm not going to say much more about that. That's the game I played the most of. But I love out of this collection. Is there a game I don't like? Nightshade is probably the weakest for me. That's it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Nightshade and Switchblade, 2 of the weakest for me, just because I haven't put any time into them.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I can agree with that. Because literally every other game on here is awesome.
8 Eyes, awesome.
Yeah, 8 Eyes is awesome. Magic
Cannon, awesome. Dork and Imp, okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
I know how to play it.
Right.
Dragon View, awesome. Draken, good. Iron Commando, good. Jim Power in the Lost Dimension, oh my god, probably. It could be so much better if we have a cheat code.
That's true. Very true. Agreed. You know? Yeah, I mean,
but I see that you took Water Margin, the worst named game ever.
Yes.
But you know why? They should have called Elemental Margin. Now that I've showed you, I'll do your super moves now, though, right?
Yes, 100%. Oh yeah, and oh man,
tell everybody how to do the super moves again.
Double Y.
Yeah.
Y
to select,
and then you can move over and select your thing, and then Y again to execute.
Yeah.
But it's it's so fun.
I'm gonna go try to finish Water Margin over Christmas. I'm pretty far in the game, so I think I can probably finish it because I can't be more than a 5-hour game. It can't be.
It can't.
Beat 'em ups never were, right?
Right, and it's the reason why this is on here, and it's not Brave Battle because Brave Battle is like completely in my wheelhouse. It's JRPG.
Yeah,
love it.
It's got Rich and Mike Garvey and everybody.
And also the reason it's not canon because canon's an SRPG, and that's like totally in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I was surprised. I think it's because you didn't really play much of canon yet, or
well, again, yeah, it's a little bit of time because I was too scared to like just jump into Brave Battle or canon because I knew that was it. I wouldn't play anything else.
Well, if you jump into Brave and you like it, you're done for.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're gonna be asking me, it's like, oh, cool, where's the footage for the next thing? I'm like, oh, I'm playing Brave Battle. Sorry, like because
I'm sure I got some BBS going, Pete. Yeah, don't give me your BS. I got BBS going.
That's totally what would happen. So I had to like shelve them a little, but
I'm surprised you are so in love with this beat 'em up.
It's so good. And it's like, where did this game come from? Why haven't I played it? Like, it's like Golden Axe on steroids. It's so awesome. And it's like, it's amazing. And
now that you can do your special moves and they get the different elements, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and the best part is, right? So I can play it on here, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then when I'm like, oh man, I totally want to play this, I was like, what would the experience like being on multiplayer? It's on this.
What? Oh, how is it? What's the difference? Like,
it's on the Legends Ultimate cabinet, and it's so good. Both of them, both versions. That it's like it's pretty much almost pixel perfect between the Evercade and the Legends Ultimate cab, but I mean, obviously you get the arcade feel, right? You're standing there, you got the buttons, you can do all your special moves. It's literally the same game.
Controller 2 deadlock. We need controller 2.
Enemies
for Jim Powers.
Oh, Jim Power. Oh yeah, but on controller 2, yes. Yeah, that'd be cool. But if we could have a controller 2.
That's on our prediction show next week.
Yes.
That's one of our things I'm gonna write.
Yes, 100%. But man, water margin ever since our show, like our first week of the Pico Collection show, it just literally consumed the last 3 weeks of my.
And now that you got it on arcade, which one do you prefer it on? Or you're waiting for your video to do that?
I'll probably do a comparison video on that. Yeah. I like the fact that I can carry it around. So Evercade kind of wins that round.
Like I said in my top 5 list, why it's better than PS5 and Xbox. It fits in my pocket.
That's it.
100 something games.
It plays all this stuff. Yeah, and it's so good. But I mean, for a long while, outside of like capture and like experimenting else with some other games, I mean, Pico Collection is not gonna. It's just gonna stay there for a while.
Dude, it's so strong. It's such a like Pico Collection 2. I know right now can't knock it off its perch because it's this one has the RPGs, it has the action games, it has everything, right?
It even has a sports game on here. Like it's got all of the stuff that you need, and it's got all the stuff that would be great for an extended trip. We can only bring one cart. You bring Pico because you got it all, and it's just there. And the coolest thing is, if we were to talk about if we did a anticipation show, if we were doing this show before the system came out, and you would have told me that I would be in this show here picking Pico as my number one, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah, me too.
Like, no, there's no crazy.
Oh no, it's the Namco collection, or it's
one of my Atari collections, exactly. And it would have been one of those, and that would have been hands down. It's a Pico. Okay, maybe, but oh man,
such an awesome. Like I found this hard, like to choose. It was like choosing between all my children.
Yeah, no, 100% is. All of these were rough calls for like ordering, which is the reason why I stressed in the beginning, and I'll stress now again. For me, it wasn't about better games over other games. It was how much time and how much those games called to me to play. That's how I did the ranking, because I'll play all 100 of these games all day long. Even I'd play Jim Power, like I would play it. I'd play all these other games. I want to learn how to play. What the heck was that? We just mentioned it from the other. Was it Nightshade?
Oh, Nightshade and Switchblade.
Yeah, I mean, I want to learn how to play Nightshade. I want to learn how to get further into Switchblade.
Hey, Andy. Andy, that's a good one. That's a good one to get your Ultimate Collection for, because they're affordable and readily available.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had to collect all the games that are on each collection in their original format. How many thousands of dollars?
Oh, exactly. Well, that's another thing too. Like, it's just and that's a great sentiment from Andy. It's like it's the exact same way I felt, because as soon as I made the plunge and got the Evercade, and then knew that every time, like the way they're doing the release schedule is almost perfect. It's like every month or every other month, and they're dropping 1 or 2 carts. So you're talking in US. That's $20 to $40 for a month or every other month. Yeah. It's like I pay more for that to do television watching in my house. And then you're going to tell me that I get these physical cartridges that I have like this nice display for, plus they've got like multiple tens of hours of gameplay per cart. It's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. So
yeah, when I was looking at this, I had trouble ranking the collections. And then more I got into it, I'm like, okay, this is pretty straightforward. And then I had to pick my favorites for each one. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I actually went back and looked at save files in some of them, see which one I had multiple save files, how much time was spent on them, and went through it. Thank God you put together this beautiful spreadsheet.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got some spreadsheet skill with from work, and I just threw that thing together. But yeah, no, it's awesome because now we have a template. We just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So like, this time next year, we'll have what we'll be looking at. We got the Atari Lynx Collection 1 and 2 will be on that list.
That's
Indie
right.
Heroes Collection, Jalico, Pico 2.
Yep.
The Worms Collection, Xenocrisis Tanglewood. Like, some of those came out this year, but it didn't seem right to put them in the same lot with the original 10.
No, and I agree with you. I agree with you there. And then of course, like Oliver Twins collections on there too. So that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be good to dive in, and so much more shows going through each game.
Guys looking forward to the most in the announced cards? Yeah, this is not a prediction show. I could tell you right now, out of what I know coming, Jalico Collection 1.
Okay.
That's one I'm looking forward to a lot. That one because of Astronax. I'm really looking forward to that game. City Connections looking good. Indie Heroes Collection. Yeah, that's one there. Pico Collection 2. I'm looking forward to that one too. I'm looking forward to them all, to be honest with you.
I mean,
the Worms one is one I'm not quite there yet on the Worms one. Like that one, there's a feel like I need to feel like more on that one.
And it's certainly going to be more for our prediction show. But yes, I agree, and I'm really looking forward to Armageddon. But I'm also really looking forward to a way
Worms
to play.
Blast is the one that intrigues me the most, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a cool game. And having played each one of them already, I'm way more excited about Armageddon. But I'm also excited about, okay, you're going to put Armageddon out, and that's great, and I'm going to play it. But then we got to give me another way to play. You got to give me another way to play this game because it's a multiplayer game, and you got to give me one.
We'll save that to next week.
Save that, but like you got, oh man, if you do that
next week,
slam dunk. Speaking segue.
Speaking next week is our homework for Rich and I, and yours too in chat, is to get your predictions ready. What do you think 2021 will look like for the Evercade? So at the start of the show next week, Rich and I will just do kind of our thoughts on 2020 since June. We'll just have a few minutes to talk about what we thought of 2020 for the Evercade. But really, the bulk of the show is going to be talking about wild and crazy. You know how wild and crazy this brain can get? Oh, God, I shouldn't have done that. Like this. Can get with ideas. So, we're going to do a little prediction show next week. Going to have some fun with it, right? And imagine if we get to 1,700 subs by next week, I give away a collection, which I think it's the Interplay collection or Namco collection. One of them.
Namco 1, right?
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Creeper, how you doing? You just joined just at the end.
Hey, what's going on, man?
So if we get to 1,700 subs by next week, giving away a collection. And I just announced, if you haven't watched the latest Evercade video I did, why it's better than the PS5 and Xbox Series X for me, I made a special breaking news announcement in that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Rich doesn't even know.
No,
who knows? Who in chat knows what I announced during that video on the Evercade and the PlayStation and the Xbox? Anybody in chat know? Want to enlighten Rich?
Yeah, somebody let me know. I'm slacking on my catch up.
Rich has been busy. Nobody can in their right mind watch all my videos.
It's a dedicated TV station for just Pete on his channel. Yeah. It's awesome.
I don't think anybody else in the chat has watched my latest Evercade video. Oh,
Smash. What's up, man?
Hey, Smash.
You've been looking for a great.
How you doing, Smash?
Thanks.
How you doing? I'm trying to grow my beard if anybody's noticing it. This is what's happening here. Every year in December, I don't cut my hair or shave.
Okay.
Because I just given up. I'm just in relaxing mode. I'm off work starting next week, so middle next week. So that's why you're seeing this scruffy look.
Oh, Deadlock hasn't watched it either. He's telling me to tell it.
You haven't watched it?
Not at all. What's up? Spill it. Spill the beans.
Oh, okay. So When I was talking about the the channel's grown so much, and I've gotten so much support from people. The club membership is doing really well.
Awesome.
That's helping me like donate to charity and all that kind of stuff. What I'm doing is for every 1,000 subs I'm giving away an Evercade. And in the way I'm doing it is because I paid $600 for the PlayStation 5, and that's 6 Evercades. So I'm saying, well, screw it. I'm going to give away 6 Evercades for every 1,000 subs.
That's awesome.
So it might take me 5 years.
Right.
But I've already ordered the Evercades.
Oh, that's
already ordered. And I got them all during the 20% off at Video Games Plus.
Oh, that's awesome. So you almost, it was like buy 5, get 1.
Exactly. So I'm going to give them all away.
That's cool.
Every 1,000 subs, someone gets an Evercade. I'm like Oprah. You get an Evercade. You get an Evercade. You get an Evercade.
That's totally cool. That's totally cool.
Why not? It's fun. Awesome. I'm having a blast. It's a good time. And Dave watched it. See, Dave watched it.
So there you go, Dave. So
you are now my official favorite.
Nice. So you know what that means, guys? That means anyone in here that hasn't already subscribed, you got to hit that button.
Oh, everybody who comes to our podcast.
Tell 8 of your friends. Go get them. Go grab their phones. Go to Pete's channel. Hit that button. Hit that button for him.
Yeah,
he's awesome. He's awesome, and then that's so cool. It's just so fun to be like hanging out and just supporting you guys that's in here. And then being teaming up and being able to support cool charities like Pete does and like Chris the Atari Creep does.
Atari Creep does.
Yeah, it's awesome. And and anything that the Bacon Ice Cream crew can do to help out with that is just I
was so hoping to hit 2,000 subs to give that Evercade away before the holidays.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Wishful thinking, because it takes a long while. Like,
yeah. I mean, but you're putting in the work, man. You're putting it in. You're gonna get there.
It's not work though. I have a blast. Like, I have so much fun. Like Smash is on here. Smash is a perfect example, right? He has like him and I and you. We all work for a living, and YouTube is fun for us. We just do it. It's fun, right? So like, this is how I relax. Shooting videos and chatting about video games. What a better hobby to have, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And I'm learning cool skills. I'm learning how to video edit. I'm learning how to do audio editing. It's just fun. Like, it's a good learning experience, right?
Yeah, totally.
And, I just have fun. Doing it. So, but it's awesome to get to meet everybody here in the chat. But yeah, next week's our big prediction show for Evercade in 2021. It's Rich, you got to put you back to work.
Yeah,
got to get back to work, right? I wonder what is, but no, it's only 2:00. Is Smash drinking wine yet?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's the afternoon on the weekend. You got to kick back, do what you can, relax.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, anyway, I gotta let Rich go. I've got to get going. I want to thank you all. Thank everybody who come every week. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Go over to Rich's channel. Make sure you're supporting Rich if you can. And everybody here, there's lots of people in this chat who have YouTube channels that we support and I support, like Smash and all them. And they're very diverse channels, like Atari Creeps and Smashes and everybody else in here, Mike Garvey's. Go support these people, Retro Just Play, because they're all good people talking about cool stuff, and
absolutely
it's just decent. And that's what it's all about, right? Support and be supported.
Yes.
So yeah, it was awesome. Anything final going on? What's coming on your channel this week, Rich?
So I didn't get a chance to do it this week because of all the work stuff that blew up, but I got my little tutorial video about the Transformers TCG, RIP by the way, for Anthem. So that's going to be coming up on the main channel. I dusted off the dust on the sub channel. It's the Rich Haywood channel. Oh yeah, the one you spun that up about 6 months ago, and then it went dark for a little bit, right? Yeah, well, I mean, because I moved the main content that I was doing, the Good Times of Retro Rich show, moved to the main channel. So I was just like, all right, well, I don't have time to experiment anymore. I'm going to push out my content. But since I got this little thing here, I'm doing some more experimentation because I found out that little device actually streams from the arcade box. Oh yeah, I heard that. Awesome. Hey Anthem, how you doing, bud? So I'm doing a little experimentation on the personal channel. So if you're down for just like simple, like weird stuff happening, me clunking around. I missed your stream last night. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Anthium was there. Hey, what's up, Anthium?
I was
By the
having
way.
a podcast with a fine gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh, well, awesome. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, come on over and hang out with that. You know, that'll happen at random times. It's actually I'm literally calling the show Retro Rich's Random Arcade.
That's
I'm
awesome.
just gonna
dude.
turn on the thing. I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna hit stream and just go.
That's awesome.
So yeah, you know, come on
Cool,
over
man.
and check it out.
What have I got? Oh, I'm doing my top 25 games played. I went so clickbaity this month with my titles. It's called my top 25 games played of 2020. But in the title it says top 25 games and played is in little letters. I'm having fun. But people are actually watching. It's pretty cool. It's just my
Cool.
25 games I played the most in 2020. And a lot of them are all over the place from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, this year. Doing that as my countdown to Christmas. I usually do a countdown to Christmas, and I've got a Amico video coming up this week. A couple more bonus odes in Amico,
Sweet.
coming up, and I got a lot of Evercade stuff coming out. Yeah, just all the standard stuff right up until the holidays, but not so many videos. I shot all the top 25s in one day.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So they're just ready to go. They're all ready.
That's great. Oh man. I had to catch up on those. That was good.
Yeah, top 25 is cool. I just released one today from a game from 2005.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Fable.
Yeah. Fable's good. Fable's a good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we're done. We're over our time. Thanks, everyone. Chat, you're awesome. Hey, if we get to 1,700 subs next week, giving away one of the collections I have. I think it's Namco. I think it's. I don't know why I don't know that. It's in a box.
Sure Namco one. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Rich, as usual, man, we'll see you tomorrow for the Amico All Access.
Yep, absolutely. We'll be there. Got Christmas sweater and all.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I've got to switch out for tomorrow. So, all right, chat, you are awesome. Thanks everybody for joining. You have a good day. Stay safe and have some fun. We'll catch you next week on the Evercast. Bye.
Thanks so much, guys. See ya.
Team RTFC.baconicecream.com